Hey everybody, this is Keith here of Euphoria Pictures. Welcome back to my channel. Right folks, so for this video I'm going to be doing my top 10 favourite 4K collector's editions of 2023. Now you heard me correctly, 4K. There's going to be no Blu-rays in this top 10, and the reason to why there's not is because I'm thinking about putting the top 10 together of my favourite Blu-ray collector's editions of 2023. Now that video is going to be, it's going to be a real pain in the ass to put together, no question about it. But I can tell you now, it's nothing near as bad as what this 10 was, because there was that many editions that came out in 2023, so many incredible releases, and to try it all, narrow it down into 10, it was very, very tough. But the one great thing I think you will get from this video is it's clear to see that physical media is strong and well, and fingers crossed 2024 is going to be even a better year. I can't imagine it, but I'm hopeful. I really am. So what I'm going to be doing, folks, in this video as well is, look, I'm not going to be spending too much time with the item. I've done videos for every single one of the items in this top 10. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave all the links in the description below, and if there's a release that you see in here that you might be interested in checking out or seeing more of, yes, you can click on them links and check it out for yourselves. But I think you are going to be massively impressed by what I'm going to show here. Right, folks, so let's not waste any time. Let's get on with this top 10. So, yeah, here we go. Right, so at number 10, I've got It Came From Outer Space. Now, I have to do a big shout out to Universal. What a year they had. So many incredible deluxe releases. I'm actually just looking at my shelf now. I'm actually looking at them. And they brought out the likes of The Jewel, Hard Target, Hannibal, Jaws 2, Violent Night, and Megan. So many amazing collector's releases, and every single one of them look absolutely beautiful. But I wanted to narrow it down to one release, and this is the one I opted for. It was tough. It was really tough between this one and Hannibal, which looks absolutely spectacular. But I opted for this because it just gave me that kind of old school sci-fi feel. The cover artwork is absolutely beautiful. It has a nice hard rigid box on it as well. Beautiful soft touch paper. But when you see the actual steelbook itself, it has this amazing high gloss finish to it, and the colours, particularly the colours when you see it on the steelbook, it just looks beautiful. And of course you get the usual bells and whistles. You get booklets, you get postcards as well. So it's an absolutely fantastic release. It is Universal's best release of last year. The 4K picture on this as well was absolutely astonishing. And the movie itself, it was actually a first time watch for me, and I can't stress to you how much I had, how much enjoyment I got from the movie itself. And it's kind of started me on this kind of journey of picking up a lot more of these kind of old school sci-fi horror movies. So there you go, folks, that is my number 10 pick, It Came From Outer Space. Right, so in at number 9 I have got The Exorcist, and I suppose you would call it the Bible edition. Now, there's no way I was going to put a top 10 together and not feature Warner Brothers, even though they actually had quite a poor year. And this is hands down the best release they brought out. So I'm hoping for a lot better from Warner Brothers this year. Fingers crossed that we will get that. But there is two editions that they brought out for this movie. You have this one here, and then you have a collector's edition, which looks rather nice as well. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping someday to pick that up if I can get it at the right price. But I opted for this one. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. Now, there was problems when it comes to the J card on this. Apparently, it was actually tearing the cover when you were trying to, because of the glue spots. But I've opted not to remove the J card. I have no intention of doing so. Now, it does have a beautiful steelbook inside this as well. It does come with that original artwork, which is very, very important to me, particularly for the movie Exorcist. You want that original artwork. You also get a lot of postcards in there as well, a couple of posters and a few booklets. But I felt that the presentation on this set was absolutely beautiful, particularly when you see the purple insert that's inside this, the actual box itself. It is a beautiful release. The 4K transfer, it's not perfect. It's far from being perfect. I still think it looks a bit too vibrant, but take nothing away from it. I still think it is the best the movie has ever looked, and the Dolby Atmos is actually probably the reason to why you would want to check out The Exorcist. It's a bit of a game changer. It felt like I was watching the movie for the first time in a weird kind of way. I never heard it sound as good as it does on this release. So yes, folks, that's my number 9 pick, The Exorcist, and what a beautiful release that is. Right, so in at number 8, I have got Razorback. And this is from Umbrella Entertainment. Now, believe it or not, folks, but this was actually gifted to me by my good friend Connor Gray, who lives over in Australia. And a huge thanks again, Connor, for doing that for me. What an absolutely spectacular edition this is. Now, when I actually reviewed this, I put a video together for it. I did say in that video, I remember saying it felt like two labels came together to make this one release. When you actually look at the box art, it kind of reminds you of Second Sight, but when you actually see the release inside that actually holds the discs, it feels like a Vinegar Syndrome release, and it is absolutely beautiful. There's no other word for it. You also get this amazing hardback novel as well, and you also get some behind the scenes footage in that book as well. And then of course you get a couple of postcards to round off the collection. Now the 4K transfer was a little bit of a letdown on this because there was no HDR or Dolby Vision, but the fact that I never owned the movie, I didn't really care. It actually looked quite nice. It's not the best 4K transfer you're ever likely to see, but I think you'll have few complaints, particularly if you're someone like me that never actually owned it before. So there you go, folks. That is my number 8 pick, Razorback, and what a release that is. Right, so in at number 7, I have got Night of the Living Dead. And as you can see, it comes in this rather deluxe looking edition. Now, this is a German release. I can't remember what company I bought it from. I think it was either Turbine or Plyon Pictures. And apologies if I'm butchering that name, but I think it was Plyon that I bought it from. And I'm not sure if it's still available. There's a chance that it might be, because I don't think it has a limited number on it. As far as I'm aware of, it doesn't. And what a release this is. Now, what happened with me when it came to this was I actually picked up the Steelbook edition first, that you actually get inside this. I got it from Amazon Germany, and I think I paid around €38 for it. And someone made me aware of this release, and all I had to do was put an extra tenner to get this deluxe release. So what I ended up doing was returning my Amazon Germany Steelbook and picking this one up. And what a release this is. Comes in this beautifully solid, hard, rigid box. You do get that gorgeous Steelbook inside as well. Nice high gloss finish on it. You also get two posters, two very full-size looking posters with newly commissioned artwork and the original artwork. You get two booklets, which actually comes, there's a comic book and then a behind-the-scenes booklet. And then, of course, you get the usual, a few postcards as well. It is quite an amazing set when you consider that I paid less than €50 for it, and I can't stress to you how happy I am that I picked this one up. Now, the 4K picture on this was a bit like Razorback, a bit of a letdown because it didn't come with HDR or Dolby Vision, and you could clearly see it was lacking that. But take nothing away from it, it's still a spectacular looking picture. It has no business to look as good as it does. I just wish that HDR was part of the actual 4K treatment. So there you have it, folks. That is my number 7 pick, Night of the Living Dead. Right, so there's no way I could put a top 10 like this together and not feature Second Sight. So at number 6, I opted for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And once again, I have to do a big shout out to Second Sight. What a year they had. They brought out some amazing releases. As a matter of fact, I've fallen massively behind on their releases, and I'm hoping this year to finally catch up. I would do anything to get my hands on that release of Martin. Hopefully someday very soon I can finally get it. But I opted for this one because it is the definitive version to own for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And that's saying a lot coming from me because I own so many releases of this movie. But this is hands down the best release you can get for it. In terms of special features, there's just so much in there. Not only that, it is easily the best the movie has ever looked. Look, it's never going to be a 4K visual showcase. We are talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre here, but I did say in numerous videos that if you clean that up, if you clean this movie up, you're massively taking something away from the movie itself, and it is an incredibly faithful transfer. Now, the one problem I did have with it was the Dolby Atmos soundtrack that you got on this. It was actually kind of irritating to listen to because the movie is overly loud. But other than that, it is an absolutely spectacular release. The presentation is phenomenal. You get a lovely hardback book in there as well. Of course, the postcards, but the postcards are phenomenal as well in this release. And yes, I think it is easily Second Sight's best release of 2023. So there you have it, folks. That is my number 6 pick, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Right, so on to number 5 we go, and I've got the John Wick Trilogy. Yes, Trilogy. The 4th movie is not inside this set, and for a time there it almost put me off buying this, but it's only when I started seeing unboxings for it I knew I needed to get it for my collection, particularly when you see the steelbooks inside it. Now, this is a stash book edition of it, and if you're not particularly aware of it, if you actually watch chapter 3 of John Wick, there's a scene where he goes into the library and he actually comes across this book, and I have to admit they've done a great job recreating that book. It has this amazing soft touch finish to it. The artwork is exquisite on this as well. It just screams John Wick. But as soon as you open it up and you see the steelbooks nestled inside, you just know you're in the presence of a beautiful collector's edition. The steelbooks really do steal the show. They kind of just represent the Continental. Not only that, even when you see the disc artwork is just amazing. Again, screams John Wick. And the 4K transfers on the entire collection look absolutely amazing. I have no complaints whatsoever, and the Dolby Atmos on each release sounds phenomenal as well. So there you have it, folks. So if you are interested in picking this up, please trust me when I say this, do not let the fact that the 4th movie is not inside the set put you off it. It is a spectacular edition, and I can't stress to you how happy I am that I finally have this in my collection. So there you go, folks. That's my number 5 pick, the John Wick Trilogy. Right, so we are getting down to the nitty gritty. So this one's a little bit of a cheat, and I'll explain now why in a second. So at number 4, I've opted for the Saw collection. And the reason to why it's a bit of a cheat is because every disc that's inside this is not 4K. It's the first movie and the last 2. Now, you don't get Saw X inside this. It goes up to only Spiral. But it is an absolutely fantastic edition. As you can see, you get this beautiful window box release. You can see the trap is inside it as well. And the way that the artwork is done through the entire box, it actually looks like it's made of miniature jigsaw pieces. It is a very well put together release. Now, I have to admit, I was very fortunate when it came to this because there was a lot of complaints about people saying that they were getting their editions broken. I've seen horror videos on YouTube when it came to this release, but thank God mine came with absolutely no issues whatsoever. This is from an Australian company called Via Vision, and I am almost certain you can actually still buy this on their website, but brace yourselves, folks, it is very, very expensive. As a matter of fact, this was given to me as it was a gift at the start of the year from my fiance. And what a way to start the year. It was absolutely spectacular. And if you're a Saw fan, I can't think of a better release to pick up. It doesn't get much better than this one. So there you have it, folks. That is my number 4 pick, the Saw collection. Right, so on to number 3, I have got the 4K release of The Fifth Element. And this is an Everything Blue edition. As a matter of fact, Everything Blue brought out 2 releases this year. It was The Fifth Element and Leon. Both of them look amazing. But as you can tell by the video, I've limited myself to 1 release per label. So I opted for The Fifth Element. And what a release this is. And just like my previous Saw edition, this was actually gifted to me by my beautiful fiancée Ellen, and what a gift to receive. This was the Christmas gift that I got this year, and you have to understand, folks, I actually gave up trying to get hold of this because it sold out instantly. It was going for crazy money on eBay, but somehow, and I don't know how she done it, but somehow Ellen managed to find a copy of it, and not only that, but get it at a reasonable price. She actually got it from a German seller, which is a good thing because that means she didn't have to pay a customs charge either. So it really was a win-win in the end, and I'm still pinching myself that I actually have this release. It is just exquisite all through this entire edition, whether it's the main artwork, the standard release inside, or the steelbook itself. The color scheme through the whole release is absolutely exquisite. You get this beautiful replica of Leeloo Dallas's multi-pass as well. It is yeah, it doesn't get any more deluxe than this release, and the lads over Everything Blue have done a spectacular job on this one. They really outdone themselves. And the 4K transfer on The Fifth Element, folks, looks, yeah, absolutely amazing. I was actually really surprised by how good it actually looks, and the Dolby Atmos that you get on this is equally as impressive. So there you have it, folks. That is my number 3 pick, The Fifth Element from Everything Blue. Right, so in at number 2, now this might surprise a few people because not many people will know about it. That's how rare this release actually is. So yes, at number 2, I have got the House collection, and yes, it is a 4K release. This is a German edition. It's from NSM Records. And as you can see, it comes in this rather deluxe looking book. The entire book is wrapped in leather. And as you can see, the artwork is almost like etched into the actual leather itself. Look at the spine of it. It just looks beautiful. And not only that, but like I said, all 4 movies do come in 4K. They also come in media book form with all brand newly commissioned artwork on each media book. And of course, you get a hardbound book as well of the just the history of the House collection. It is an absolutely exquisite edition, and I feel very fortunate to actually have this, because I heard horror stories about people ordering this and the orders were getting cancelled, and I was actually just waiting. I was waiting for my email to come, but it never came. And it took a while. It took a while for them to actually dispatch this. But as soon as I got a notification saying it was dispatched, the amount of relief that came over me. But the only problem when it comes to releases like this, because they are so rare, it is that worry that if there's any kind of damage on it at all, you're either going to have to live with it or you're going to have to return it. But thankfully, nothing happened with this. And yeah, I can't stress to you how happy I am to finally have this in my collection. Now, the one downside when it comes to this release is the 4K transfers. They are very hit and miss. The Fort definitely being the worst out of the lot. It just never felt like a 4K transfer, if I'm completely honest. But I'm taking nothing away from the release itself. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful display piece. And every time I look at it in my collection, it puts the biggest smile on my face. So there you have it, folks. That is my number 2 pick, the House 4K collection. Right, so here we go, number 1, and this is not going to surprise too many of you out there. As a matter of fact, I'm sure this is probably featured at number 1 in so many people's top 10s greatest releases of 2023, and of course it is the Bruce Lee Golden Harvest collection. And the reason to why this is number 1 is because it is hands down the greatest release Arrow Video has ever brought out. Just look at the year that Arrow Video had. What an amazing year. You know, whether it's this release, the Psycho 4K collection, the Hellraiser collection that came out as well. You just got the newly released Child's Play editions. So much going on with Arrow Video. They had a huge year, and I can't wait to see what they're going to come up with next. But the presentation on this is absolutely exquisite. They all come in these beautiful digipack releases, all unique newly commissioned artwork on each edition as well. You got this beautiful hardbound book inside it as well. You've got feature after feature after so many hours upon hours of special features. It's definitely the definitive version to own when it comes to the Bruce Lee collection. And not only that, but when I actually reviewed this box set, I did say in that video that this was one of the biggest gambles I've ever taken for a release, because I never seen a single Bruce Lee collection. And as a matter of fact, I wasn't a fan of martial arts movies, but my God, the gamble has paid off, because I've seen all 5 movies now, and I've loved every single one of them. Way of the Dragon is still my favourite of the 5. That scene, that fight sequence with Chuck Norris, oh my God, I had such high expectations for it, and somehow they managed to exceed my expectations with that fight sequence. It was absolutely phenomenal. And look, folks, I can't say anything more about this box set. It just has everything that you could possibly want when it comes to Bruce Lee. And as a matter of fact, I actually went through a lot of the special features on this as well, and some of the features are just as good as the movies themselves, and that's the biggest testament I can pay to this incredible box set. So there you have it, folks. That is my number 1 pick, the Bruce Lee Golden Harvest collection, and what an edition that actually is. So like I said at the start of this video, folks, I'm going to leave links to every single one of the editions that I showed in this top 10 if you do want to get a good proper look at them, and I hope you do, because they are some amazing releases. So I just wanted to quickly just talk about upcoming videos that I have coming up. But anyone that's aware of my channel, you will already notice that there is a little bit of a difference when it comes to my background. Just right here, as you can see, I have a bust edition of the Toxic Avenger. I actually got that just in before Christmas, and I'm hoping to put a video together very, very soon for that. But then not only that, but I'm sure a lot of you have noticed right up here, there we go, As you can see, I actually got my Maniac bust release, and what a release that is. And I can't stress to you how much I'm looking forward to putting that video together and showing you everything that's inside that. That bust is so unbelievably grotesque, but I can't stress to you how happy I am that I finally have it in my collection. And as you can see, it displays quite beautifully. So there you have it, folks. So as per usual, if you did like what you see here, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you could leave a comment down below. And please do share your thoughts on this top 10. And yeah, I hope to see you all again real soon with my next video. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.